right, thanks for coming back. This is the GM's Dice. Hope you're enjoying yourself so far. We've got tonight our usual Ray and a newcomer, Chris. Chris, if you'd like to introduce yourself and your character that you'll be playing here shortly, you may do so now.
All right, my name's Chris. I'm part of the Tides of Change Facebook group, and I am playing the role of Zara Drax, who is a female Zabrak, who is in cryostasis, soon to be waking up.
Alright, so we left off with our last session. The Wayfarer here just hopped into hyperspace barely, and as far as they're concerned, they're heading for, least of all things, to call it home. You spend about a day and a half in hyperspace. It has passed since we've left. You can describe what you've been doing if you'd like, or we can hop right into what's going on.
I'll spend time in hyperspace. I've been working with Bruiser. He's been trying to make a better fighter out of me. So he's taught me some new moves for when I am in, when I get into close combat. So I'm a little stronger now of a fighter. And then did some target practice with the blaster we picked up as well. So hopefully I've become a better aid to these guys than just their tech mechanic.
All right. So we start off. Varanus has just left the cargo area with Bruiser, working on some of his target practicing and breaking down his weapon and cleaning it and putting it back together and all that stuff. And Doran is hanging out up on the bridge. He's kicked back, feet up, got a hat that he's laid over his face, and he looks to be sleeping. Is there anywhere you want to head here in the ship real quick before...
No, I'm good. So we maybe go grab something to... I'll head over to the... what's it called? Like the kitchen area. And
Okay.
Grab something to drink.
All right.
After that hard training session.
All right, so you head back into the galley area for your little bit of snack and something to drink, and just as you get your feet kicked back and biting into a sandwich and got your drink sitting there, you hear a hiss and a clack, sort of a clang, clang, clang. And it's coming from the secondary cargo hold.
Is Bruiser still in the main cargo hold?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna run in there and Bruiser, what's going on, man? Did you hear that? Where'd that come from?
And he just kind of looks at you, and you realize running in there that he probably hadn't heard anything. He's got a lift going, and it's fairly loud in there.
All right. Hey, come with me. We got to check this out. I heard something. Didn't sound good. I may need your help. So we'll head over to towards the secondary cargo hold, I guess.
Okay. So you guys headed into the secondary cargo hold just in time to see our friend Zara here already having stepped out of the cryotube. There's sort of a mist rolling around the ground and still pouring out of the bottom of it. And you catch her just as she's pulling up a pair of pants. When she was in the cryotube, she was in just bare skivvies. So she's pulling up a pair of pants, and she's got her shirt or jacket over her, but unbuttoned at the moment, or only buttoned about halfway. And here you guys can role play out your meeting for a moment if you'd like.
Oh, this can't be good. Bruiser, get over here. I'm gonna hand her off to him real quick and run over to the. I guess I'm assuming there'd be some kind of like comm relay on the wall,
Yeah.
and buzz up Doran in the cockpit. And Doran, hey, this is not good. You may want to come down to the hold.
All right, and you hear from the other end. What's not good? What are you talking about? What's not good?
Oh, you know that cargo for Basato?
Yeah, what about it?
Something happened, and it's out.
It's out. What do you mean it's out? It was Days and Guns. What do you mean it's
awake?
out? Wait a minute.
The other one.
What are you telling me that she's awake? It's out? What? I'll be right there.
Yeah, whenever.
And as soon as he says I'll be right there, the thing cuts out and all you get is static. And you can faintly hear boots slapping on the metal deckway as he's running this way. Bruiser is kind of standing there dumbfounded at this shapely Zabrak who's standing here half dressed and just kind of grunts. Kind of tightens his fist around a wrench that he's holding.
Bruiser, hey, hold on a second. Let's wait for Doran and figure out what's going on first.
Do you say anything, Zara?
Zara kind of looks around and notices the Varnus and Bruiser standing over there and goes, "Who in the hell are you guys? And where the hell am I?"
You just hold on. Let's wait till Doran gets here, and we're going to ask questions first.
Okay. And just moments after you say that, Doran comes skidding around the corner, and go ahead and go.
Whoa, wait. I'm asking the questions here. I'm not even supposed to be here. The last thing I remember was getting cryo-freezed and hearing that I was heading to Kessel. Now, where am I? This is obviously not an Imperial shuttle or any type of Imperial vessel. So, who are you guys? And why am I here?
Okay.
And by the way, where am I?
All right, and Doran comes skidding around the corner just as you started in on your rant about where are you and who are you, and he says, "Whoa, calm down there, young lady." He says, "You're amongst if you're heading to Kessel in a cryo, you're amongst fellow friends." He says you're aboard the Wayfarer. I'm Doran, this large fellow here, and he reaches up and pats Bruiser on his shoulder. He says, "This is my buddy Bruiser." He says, "And this fellow over here, he's our engineer. It's Varanus. Now, who are you? You never said your name."
I am Zara Drax. I was captured on Ord Benar a couple weeks ago. Apparently, I don't know what day it is or what's going on. I was stealing supplies from a supply depot on Ord Benar, and the Imperials caught me. Of course, I have been known to escape from Imperial hands on several occasions, and fearing that I might escape again, the Imperials decided to cryo-freeze me until they could get me to Kessel. The last thing I remember was then the commander saying, whoever this commander was, saying, "We'll see you at Kessel." And that was the last thing I remember. And then I wake up in this strange cargo hold wondering what the hell happened. So who
Well,
are?
as I said before, you're aboard the Wayfarer. We're a group of some would call us pirates, but it's a dirty term. Says I prefer cargo acquisitions. Yes, we're in cargo acquisitions. It sounds more businesslike. It doesn't sound so
That's
dirty. Says, but we're en route now in hyperspace on the way to meet up with our boss. We just acquired you out of a ship that we hit.
okay. Well, that makes some sense. So where are you guys headed to again?
Nar Shaddaa.
Or that could prove useful. I could get hooked up with some new contacts. Maybe make a little credits.
Says, oh, well, here's the tricky part. See, we're heading to meet our boss, and as your story does sound believable, as far as we know, you're his property. You're aboard the ship that had his cargo. We're not sure if you're a part of his cargo or not. So unless you can make it worth our while, we're going to have to turn you in with the rest of the cargo when we get home.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to make it worth your while, but I'm sure we could figure stuff out.
Says, well,
Maybe even, I guess we could meet.
What's your skill set?
Well, let's just say I'm in, as you would put it in a nicer style, acquisitions. But if you want to put it in layman's terms, I'm basically your thief, your rob. Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. I'm just your basic common thief. Just a little too well known these days. Gotten too much credit, and now the Imperials have been nothing but on me. So, you know, going to Bushido might not be so bad. It would get out of Imperial eyes. I guess I'm in your guys' hands, so I have no choice.
Says, well, we'll see how everything works out. We got about a day left before we fall out of hyperspace here and get to where we're going. So we'll figure out then exactly what to do, and I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Varanus and Bruiser here. I've got things I got to get back to.
Before,
and he pats Bruiser on the shoulder, and he kind of gives Varanus this sort of look that says, you know, show her the ropes, but keep an eye on her.
Before Doran walks off, I'm gonna kind of pull him to the side and ask him, Varanus asked him, you want me to take a look at this cryo thing? I've never worked on anything like this before, but I can get it up and running just in case she becomes a problem.
By all means, see what you can do. At the very least, you learn something.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I'll definitely keep an eye on her for sure, just in case.
He says, I trust you. You know what to do. And he pats you on the shoulder, and he just turns and walks off and heads towards the cockpit.
So, Zara, you're pretty lucky we happened upon you. That Imperial shuttle that they were transporting you on had been waylaid by rebels. You know anything about that?
No. Like I said, I was in cryostasis. I was en route to Kessel as far as I knew. It was almost instantaneous for me. I mean, 1 minute I'm watching the clouds from the cryo tube and the mists form in front of my face, and next thing I know, I'm waking up in this cargo hold and thinking I was at Kessel until you guys showed up.
All right. Just wanted to be sure. You know, we have enough problems with the Empire whenever we have to come in towards the core, but the last thing we need is trouble with the rebels too. They've been stirring up some issues trying to set up little bases on the outer rim, drawing in more Imperial watch. So the last thing we need is, you know, two other, you know, another force to worry about.
I agree. I've had a few run-ins with some rebels. They don't do good business, that's for sure. But every once in a while they'll call on one of us to help them acquire something, and I've never been stupid enough to take that kind of take. I'd rather work with people I can trust, you know, your everyday smuggler, thief, those types of people.
Okay, well, as you guys go on having your conversation, are you attempting to start working on this thing, or no?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let her know. Bruiser, he's kind of the strong, silent type, but I'm sure he'll show you around the ship. I'm just gonna take a look and see what happened to your transportation here, and figure out what pulled you out so soon.
Okay, go ahead and make a mechanics check. Let's see, trying to figure out what to... Yeah, make a mechanics check with average difficulty.
Nothing.
Okay, so you're unable to pinpoint exactly what caused her to come out of cryosleep without being pulled out of it, but you are able to figure out something about it that you weren't intentionally going to figure out. If you want to tell us what that might be.
Yeah, let's see. Notice the I recognize the components as being Imperial, so that kind of holds up her side of the story. It's not what I've typically seen come in through the shop with the bounty hunters and some of their type of tech.
Okay, perfect.
It's old Imperial tech.
All right. Now, were you going to try and repair it as well, or?
Yeah, let me see if I can try to repair it.
Okay, that is going to be a hard difficulty with 2 setbacks.
All right, I get to ignore one of them with Gearhead.
Okay. The 2 setbacks are because this is stuff. Okay. The 3 advantage, we can call that a success if you'd like. That's what I do with my home campaigns. If you get 3 advantage, you can count it as 1 success, or you can use it for whatever advantage you'd like. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use it as a 1 success.
Okay. So over the course of the next 5 or 6 hours of messing with it, you get it to where it comes online and everything's operational again. And you guys go about doing some other things around the ship, showing Zara where things are at, and kind of explaining you guys' situation a little better and how you guys all came to be together and whatnot. And you show her where she's going to rack. Everybody heads for bunk. The next morning, as everybody's starting to get up and get running around, you drop from hyperspace. And when the ship and everything drops from hyperspace over the intercom, you hear Doran. He says, "Varanus, I need your computer expertise up here."
All right, I'm on my way. I'll be there in a minute. I've run up to the cockpit, and hey, that doesn't look like Nar Shaddaa, boss.
He says, "No." He says, "That's one giant dust ball." He says, "And nothing else around here looks right." He says, "None of the star layouts look right. Hop on that thing and see if you can find out where we're at."
All right. Average?
No, this is going to be a hard difficulty.
All right. Ooh.
All right.
Told you it was going to be a bad night.
All right. Well, your ship takes 2 strain from all this. You're typing away and doing all you can, and all of a sudden, I mean, the screen kind of starts fuzzing out and whatnot. Possibly it took too much radiation before you jumped into hyperspace. You can try again if you'd like.
Yeah. Let's maybe we should get Zara up here. She seems to have traveled a lot. You know, I've mainly spent most of my time on the planet, so maybe she might be able to recognize where we are.
All right.
Figure it out, and I can kind of work on the ship and try and get this wiring in order and figure out what's going on.
All right. And Doran reaches over and hits the intercom. He says, "Zara, go up to the bridge, please."
And Zara comes out of her bunk area and casually strolls up to the bridge and goes, "Yeah, what can I do for you?"
He says, "You got any know-how with how to use these computers with astrogations and try to figure out where the hell we're at? We tried a minute ago, but we got a short, and Varanus is going to try and fix that, and I need somebody else to try and work on this while I try and keep us from hitting any of this stuff out here."
I can try. I'm not going to make any guarantees, but I can try.
So meanwhile,
Okay.
I'm underneath the console trying to look at some wires, and then all of a sudden you hear as I shock myself. I don't know if that's going to be any better, but have her try it now.
All right. Go ahead and make me a computers check. Is it one of your skills?
Yeah, I just did. I threw it in there for flavor.
No, for Chris.
Oh, for me?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my skills. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make me
Okay.
with 1 setback at hard difficulty. So 3 purple and 1 black.
All right.
All right. And again, Varanus gets a face full of sparks as the screen just goes completely black this time.
What the hell just happened?
Doran looks back and says, "What the hell are you two doing to my ship?"
All right, hold on. Let me take another look. Maybe across some wires.
All right. This time. Okay. Yeah. You get it fixed. What else do you get out of it?
Let's see. I'm gonna give her
You can
a
use
boost
those anyway. Okay, that's
on her astrogation check.
all right. You pass on 1 boost, so that's 1 advantage. You got 2 more to use.
And then see. And then with the 2, I'm going to recover 1 strain from the ship.
Okay. All right. So the screen blinks back on, and you can make another astrogations check with just 3 purple this time.
It's astrogations and not computers.
Computers, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
All right. You checking through the computer, checking through star charts and whatnot. You figure out that you are orbiting around a desert planet that is designated as DP732A. It is on the edge of wild space, just past Teth. So you're about 12 hours off course from Hut Space, about a day off course from Nalhutta, or Nar Shaddaa.
Wow, we're really off course.
And the strain or the threat is going to be that it's going to go into ship strain. So the console sparks and whatnot again as the patch that Varanus put in there is failing.
All right.
And Doran kind of looks over at Varanus and he says, "Well, you're the one who put in the course last time." He says, "What the hell why'd you bring us out here?"
It's not what I entered. I mean, we have the coordinates. It's not like this is the first time we've ever been in Nar Shaddaa. Clearly, it was that the flare from that star damaged the ship more than what we thought. As soon as we get back, we may have to. Well, we could either take our time getting back, and I can do some repairs, or we can try to set the hyperdrive again. And once we get there, maybe sit and dock until I can get this thing sorted out. It's up to you, though, Captain.
He looks at you and he says, "Well, I'd rather not risk another hyperspace jump knowing that we flew this far off course the last time. This is, and to fly back without our hyperdrive, that'd take nearly a month." He says, "We're best off putting down and seeing if we can fix this."
Oh, but everything's best. It's your ship. I'm just here to fix it.
Well, what do you guys think? And he looks to Zara. He says, "What do you think?"
Well, we can't risk jumping somewhere and ending up in some star or black hole or asteroid field or something again if this thing isn't working right. So I would go with you, Captain. I would say let's put this thing down and let's see if we can get some repairs done.
All right. So let's see. Who wants to make the rolls for Doran this evening? You want to do it again, Ray?
Oh, I can do it. That's fine.
Yeah, if you want Doran, then I'll do.
Okay.
I'll roll for Bruiser whenever that comes up.
Okay. So like our last session, outside of combat, Chris, you'll roll for Doran, and Ray, you'll roll for Bruiser. During combat, I'll roll for them. So I'd like you to make me a space piloting check, which is 2 green and 1 yellow, versus 2 purple. There's not a whole lot of stuff out here that's gonna really screw you up, but there is some space debris and some anomalies and whatnot that and you get, let's see, 2 advantage. All right. So you manage to get set down, but on the way down, you get something gets into one of the exhaust ports and clogs up one of the engines, and you set down, and you get set down safely, but and you're out in the middle of the desert, and this planet on your way down, and there are very few rock outcroppings. There was no water visible. It just looked like rolling dunes everywhere. And Doran, as you sit down, you hear everything in the ship just start hissing and popping and clanging as everything pressurizes and sets into the gravity of the planet. And Doran, he hops up out of his seat and he says, "Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've been trapped on board this ship for, let's see, nearly 2 weeks. I'm ready to get off and stretch my legs. So I'm going to go see what the outside of the ship looks like, see what we picked up as far as damage in our flight through the asteroid belt earlier, and on the way down, something started dragging on us. So I'm going to go give the outside a look over, and you guys can do what you want."
I'm going to start sorting out this wiring issue and figure out what's going on with these computers.
Okay.
Zara's gonna kind of stick around the bridge, just kind of stick around the ship, make sure if there's anything that Varanus needs, she'll try to help out. Otherwise, she's just gonna kind of relax. I mean, she's not much of a mechanic or fixer, so she's just basically gonna be the gopher. Go for this, go for that. So.
Okay, sounds good. Bruiser heads out with Doran, and they're walking around the ship and looking at things and climbing all over and working on the wiring and all that. Go ahead and make me, so you're set down, an easy difficulty mechanics check. Now that you're not in a hurry to try and get anything done, you're just lazily being able to work on it.
There we go.
All right. So you got the computer system working back up to snuff. Got all the all the bugs that were left in the system from the radiation exposure. You get those all out of it. And what do you do with your Triumph, sir?
Our next extrogation check that we make when we do leave, I'm going to upgrade. So whoever does it will get upgrade one of their green dice to a yellow.
Okay. So upgrade. Next check. Okay. Alright. So let's see. And while you're doing this and you get everything working and all that, and just as you get the panel put back together, you hear Doran over the comm. He says, "Oh, we've got a nice sized chunk of rock in our port side exhaust port." Says it's completely choked out the port engine. Says we're down to one engine unless we can get this fixed.
You definitely keep me employed, that's for sure.
And then he says, "Why don't you do me a favor?" He says, "Check the scanners and tell me if you can, if the scanners are picking up the whatever it is that's making that dust cloud out there." And if you look out the viewport there on the bridge, out to the left, you can see there's something kicking up a lot of dust. It's
Okay.
out there at like extended range.
How
So
hard?
whichever one of you wants to do it, it'd be just another computer's check at let's see, it's extended range. That's going to be hard difficulty.
Um, I'll take it. I've got better computers, it looks like.
Yeah, I've just got rank 2 on it, and that's it. It's the 2 yellow die on mine.
There we go.
All right. So you could pick up with sensors that it's some type of surface disturbance, and it seems to be heading your way. It's not reading as like a storm or anything, but it's reading as a lot of vibration, like something really large is either moving on or through the sand.
Hey, Captain, this doesn't look good. It's not a weather type phenomenon. There's definitely something possibly heading towards us. We may want to be on guard just in case.
Says, well, look up this planet, see if there's any information on it.
Right. How is your knowledge of planets, Zara?
See which one is that? Outer Rim? That be?
Education goals.
Or is
We-
Xenology or lore?
You could use either Xenology or Outer Rim.
Oh, well, they're both the same, so it's a 2 green die for me.
Right. I actually have 4, but I'd give myself setbacks having only been on Nalhutta. So, however you want us to do this.
I can try.
You can go ahead and do it. You are a desert-dwelling type of race, so it's something that you might have heard of before.
What was the difficulty?
It'd be 3 difficulty.
3.
Hard.
Wow.
Okay. So you just out of what you can recollect of the little bit you know of planetary lore, you're not remembering anything that necessarily could be causing this disturbance, but do you remember something else, or do you want to use your advantage some other way? Tell me what's going on here, sir.
Man. I will.
You could use them for a couple of boost die to make a computer's check again to look up the planet.
That's what I was actually going to say. Is I was going to probably use it for a boost to either try scanning again or figuring out the world we're on.
Okay. Yeah, you could use the database in the computer to. I mean, it was able to tell you what planet you were on and all that, so you could easily look it up and. So let's see. It'd be an easy with 2 boost. Depending on how well you roll, it tell me just what exactly it tells you. Okay.
All right,
It tells you the computer tells you that the planet designated DP732A is a wasteland. It is nothing but rolling desert. There's no water on it whatsoever that is usable. They find little bits here and there, but it's gone as soon as they find it, as if something's drinking it up or soaking it up. anything that the storms are so frequent here that anything that's ever been tried to have been built here, the storms have torn apart, and there are rather large worm-like creatures that dig through the sand, and some of them have even been known to get large enough to where they could swallow ships.
All right, I'm gonna relay this information to Doran and let him know that this is definitely not good. I need to get on these engines right away. We need to get out of here as soon as we can.
Oh yeah, you radio him and tell him what everything you just learned and figured out, and he says, and why did you waste time calling me? Why aren't you back there working already?
So I'm gonna head back to the engine bay, and I'll be back there. And Zara, whatever you're gonna be doing.
You need my help, or did you want me to stay up here and keep an eye on the storm?
Yeah, you should probably. That's a good idea. Stay here, and once it gets closer, let Doran and Bruiser know. You may need to go down there and help them fend it off until I can get these engines running.
Okay.
Will do. Have fun down there.
Alright, so let's see here. Doran and Bruiser. Let's see, Bruiser's got the higher brawn. They're gonna work at trying to get this big old massive chunk of space rock unlodged from the exhaust port. So whoever's rolling for Bruiser, would you make me a, let's see, 4 green? Actually, go ahead and upgrade that. Or wait, no, I won't use that upgrade yet. Let's. I forgot to have everybody do this earlier. Would roll force dice. Just 1 white dice.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, you can re-roll that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, we got 1 white.
And then I got a black.
You can go ahead and re-roll that. And you still got the black, so we add that and we flip that to there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade his difficulty check with the dark side point here. So Bruiser has 4 green versus 2 purple and a red.
All right.
To try and pry this big old rock loose.
Oh, I've got on that. Damn it.
All right. So he fails to get it pulled loose. He's prying and prying and prying and prying, and this thing's just not budging worth a damn. But we'll go ahead and pass on a boost dice to Varanus, because he's going to have to make our next check for working on the engines.
All right, I'm going to use redundant systems. Once per session,
Okay.
I can make an easy mechanical check to take parts from one device to repair another without damaging the original device I took the parts from.
Okay.
So since the engines are the same, the 2 engines are the same, I'm going to basically like reverse engineer.
Okay. You're going to rob from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Peter's still going to be good. So.
All right, yeah. So make your easy check. See if you're able to get parts off of it real quick, and it still keep working.
Ooh,
All right.
that's close.
You pull all the parts off of engine A, and that you are going to need for Engine B, and Engine A stays running. So go ahead, Chris, now. Make me a, let's see, the last computers check for this was at a hard. Go ahead and make me an average computers check.
That's 2, right?
Yep, 2 purple.
Okay.
Okay. The threat that you're going to get is 1 strain to yourself, because with the 2 successes, you're able to. It's gotten close enough that the sensors are able to pick up that it is a life form, and it is one massive life form that is, from what the sensors are reading, probably 3 times the size of the ship, and it is heading your direction. And
all right, Zara gets
probably about 20 minutes away.
Zara gets on the comms and says, "Listen up, boys. That big thing is heading this way. You got about 20 minutes to get this ship up and running and off the ground, so I would kick those boosters in gear."
Okay. So we'll go back around and we'll have Bruiser make another brawn check, this time with, let's see, it's not upgraded this time, so this time it would be, unless you guys want him to upgrade it with a light side die.
I was gonna ask if maybe Doran can help him, give him a boost.
Okay, so yeah, Doran will help. That'll just give him a blue boost dice. So it'll be his 4 green with 1 blue boost, and versus 3 purple.
And then maybe we should do the way I've been rolling. Maybe I should upgrade it.
If you want to, go right ahead. That'll turn one of the green into a yellow.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that too. We gotta get off this planet. All right. I'm definitely gonna take the 3 and make that into a success.
All right. The 3 success, the three of those advantage sacrifice to make a success, and the 2 of them prying are able to get this massive chunk of space rock dislodged from the exhaust port. The exhaust port's still bent to shit. How do you want to use that last advantage?
We'll give someone a boost on their next check.
Okay, so it'll give you a boost on your next check to see if you're able to actually repair Engine B with the parts from Engine A.
All right.
All right, and that is going to be a hard with 2 setback. Actually, no, that's you're gonna hate me. I'm using the black. That's gonna be 2 purple, 1 red, and 2 blacks.
All right, so just the 1 black.
Yep, because you're.
That's nice. Oh man, this is not good.
No, this engine's pretty screwed up. Okay.
All right.
So the engine, as you're working on it, it doesn't turn over and start when you're hitting, trying to get it to kick on. But what do you want to use the advantage for?
Let's see. Let's pass on another boost. So the next check for the ally, and then I have a boost on my next check as well with the 2.
Okay, we can do that. And all this has gone on, and it's only been about 5 minutes. So you got about another 15. Zara is sitting up in the cockpit of this thing and just seeing this dust cloud getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it's coming this way. And this thing is massive. Even from the distance it's at, you can tell that this thing is just huge. And, so Doran and Bruiser, they make their way back inside the ship, and this is going to be another one for you, another check to try and get the engine up and running. So you'll actually go ahead and get both those boost. But you're going to pass one off to the next allies check. You can take both of them if you want, or still leave one for the next allies check.
Yeah, I'll leave one for the next check, and
Okay.
I'll use a destiny point to upgrade as well.
Okay. So that's going to be, let's see, this time because of your, well, it wasn't a failure last time, but it wasn't a success either. So it'll be, okay, yeah, we'll just stick with the 3 purple and the 2 black.
All right.
Because it wasn't an actual failure.
So Varanus knows, like, he's feeling the stress of the situation. He knows he's got to get this ship running, and he knows he has to live up to the, being this great mechanic that, Basato said he was. He's really trying this time.
All right, this time you get it running. You take 2 strain, though, from the stress of it all. And it takes you probably a good 10 minutes or more to get everything all in line and get everything working. And Zara up in front, she really starts to panic because just before the engines actually kick on, all of a sudden this dust cloud just sort of disappears. It's getting closer and closer and closer. I mean, it's already wider than the ship is, and all of a sudden it just sort of tapers off and disappears. And that's when the ship really starts to vibrate and all this as the second engine kicks in.
Have they made it to the bridge yet?
Yeah, Doran and Bruiser, they're all on board the ship already.
So, all right.
This isn't good.
I hit the comm. I say, Doran, get this off the rock right now. Go.
Okay.
Punch.
So let's see.
And Zara's kind of hitting Doran on the shoulders. Go, 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 go!
All right.
Fine if I narrate.
No, you guys can go ahead and narrate it all you want.
Because I decide how I'm going to spin that triumph in. So he kicks on the engines. You hear them whirring up. They light up, and he just, like I said, I tell him to punch it, and he understands the urgency of this, so he just kicks the engines into the throttle forward, and you just see just the like the backblast of flame just coming out of the 2 engines as that giant worm, as far as we know, tries to come up from the sand and eat the ship, kind of like in the movie. And but instead of getting ship, it just gets a mouthful of fire coming blasting out of these engines as we tear away from the sand. Dust, dirt flies everywhere as we break atmosphere and return to orbit.
Okay, so yeah, you holler in, punch it. He hops in the seat. He doesn't bother to strap in nothing. He hits it. The ship lifts off, and he full throttles it. The engines flare up into life, and the typical blue sort of bright light, sort of ionized that you'd see behind the engines flares out, and this thing takes off like a rocket straight up into the air, and as you're taking off, this big old worm comes shooting up out of the sand underneath it and kind of follows the ship up into the air, like right on its tail the whole way as it's coming up out of the sand. And then it does like you see whales. I mean, as it comes up, it just kind of turns and rolls and lays back down into the sand. And you guys jet off up into the atmosphere. And as everybody's taking off, you break atmosphere and you get out into the black of space, and you can see a hyperspace window open and close out by the moon. Is what Zara and Doran see, because they're the two that are on the bridge.
All right. I missed part of that because you guys cut out for a minute.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
We were just starting to blast off. The fire was hitting the sandworm, and then you cut out.
All right. So yeah, the worm gets a face full of exhaust flames. It follows the ship up for a ways, and then kind of does a whale move and spins and lays and rests back down into the sand. And as you guys break orbit and hit the black of space, you see up by the moon, you see a hyperspace window open and close.
Hey, Doran, did you see that up by that moon?
Up by the moon? No, all I saw was the moon.
It looked like a hyperspace window. Or
Well,
something. I don't know what it was.
check the
Something.
sensors. Check the sensors. See if you can pick anything up. And
Okay.
that'll be a daunting check. So that's going to be a 4 purple, because they are at like extended maximum range for the sensors from where you're at.
And that's a computer's check, right?
Yes. Sorry.
Nope, no problem.
All right. So the check with the sensor sweep, it brings up nothing, and it actually you check a second time, because you're positive you saw this. So you go ahead and you check a second time, and that's going to cause a strain to the ship. So that's a total of.
Did we still have that one boost from the next check that they
Yeah.
had?
Yep. You've actually got 2.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh, 2? I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
you
use one. We may need the other one.
Okay.
So we'll do that with 4 difficulty again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, baby.
All right, failure again. You don't pick up anything at extended range as far as ships or anything coming in or out of hyperspace, but you did pick up 3 advantage. How would you like to use those, sir?
Let's see. Well, I will take and pass on a boost. That's 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
One advantage. Okay, and
All
then
right, so that brings us back to 2.
okay, and then advantage. Although nothing picks up as far as ships or stuff, the sensors do pick up just some little weird energy detection from over there, but it's in, it just shows up as there's something weird there. There's something that's not supposed to be there that's there, but it's in, you can't tell what it is. It's just some energy signature, like
Okay.
very slight, just
Alright, so
enough to
you-
kind of, go, well, that's not supposed to be there, but not have to go, well, what is that?
All right, yeah. So it doesn't pick up the hyperspace window, but it does pick up a quick blip of an energy source, and then it goes black.
There it was. It's gone. It was something. It was some kind of energy that was there for one moment and then gone. I don't know what it was, but it was there.
Doran looks at it. He says, "Well, I saw it." He says, What do you want to do about it?" And then he gets on the comm and he's Varanus, if you're done back there, he says, "Get up here. We need your input."
I was already kind of heading that way, so I show up shortly thereafter.
Okay.
Hey,
So
what's going on, Captain? What do you need?
he relays everything that's going on with the thought of seeing a hyperspace window and the pickup of the energy blip at extended range out by the moon, and he asks what you think you guys should do.
Let's see. Well, I don't know. You want to head closer, see if we can pick anything up visually, or just want me to just set the astrogation and get back to the boss and get this all hashed out?
He looks at you. He says, "Well, I'm always up for the opportunity of picking up more cargo." He says, "But we've had a run of bad luck here lately. What do you guys want to do?" He says, "Ultimately, I mean, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I am the captain, but I want to know what my crew thinks."
Well, I say we check it out. There, that we had those rebels following us. I don't know if they're able to pinpoint our jump through hyperspace there or not, especially with it malfunctioning on our end. There's a possibility. If they got somebody good enough, it could be them. But like you said, it could be another payday, and we definitely could use more of those.
He says, "Well, I doubt it'd be them. They'd have to follow us through past that burning out star and all that, and probably run into the same problems we did. But you're right. It's always a possibility. So I guess we go check it out and see what we can get."
Zara kind of perks up and goes, "Sweet, yes, let's get some stuff."
All right, so he takes the ship and turns it in the proper trajectory to get you over there by there, and you guys come swinging around the moon, and Doran he kills the engines and shuts everything down to minimal, and leaving just enough power to steer the ship, use the sensors, and life support as you guys come drifting around the moon, just in case there is anything here. One of you want to make me a computer sensors check?
Yeah, I'll make it this time.
Okay. And from this range, it would be 2 purple. Okay. You pick up a ship, or a silhouette of a ship, but it, like you, is it's just drifting. It's running dead at the moment. And as you guys come further around the moon and get a little closer, you can see that it's a YT 2400. So it's not the same ship that you guys ran into at the asteroid field. and it looks like it's seen better days. It's not so bad off that it's unflyable or it doesn't have any hull breaches or anything that you can see from here, but it's definitely seen better days.
All right. 1 second. Is there a, I can't remember, I was trying to pull it up. Is there a turret or a gun on the Wayfarer?
Yes, it's got 2 automated laser cannons.
There it is, there's laser cannon, there it is, yeah, okay. Alright, so we don't have to man, or I guess we do for the controls.
Well, you can man them. They've been upgraded on the sheet that I've got here. They're, instead of just 1, there's 2 of them.
Okay.
And they've been upgraded to where they are auto cannons, to where they'll come on and fire at anything that gets close enough. You can flip them over to manual fire.
Alright, so this ship is...
Because before you came along, he was the only one on here that could operate the computers. Bruiser is just a big enforcer thug. He's no good with computers. So he had a lot of things made to where they'd just do it on their own when he'd turn them on.
Alright. How far are we from the ship?
You're at about long range at the moment. Kind of coming in from, I know it's space and there's no up or down, but kind of to the upper right rear, kind of coming in on them from back here as you're coming around the moon, as they're just kind of floating off.
Should we try raising them on comms and see if anybody's there? I just want to go at them.
Dora looks to you and says, "Well, it depends on how you want to play this one. Do you want to play this one like we're the good Samaritan here to help if need be, like we did last time, or do you want to just play the so said pirate and hit them while they're down?"
You know, I got an idea. We've got this so-called thief here with us now. Let's see how good she really is. Let's see what she comes up with.
It's a good one. Let's see your worth. So far, you've been good at watching what's going on and letting us know. You've got a good set of eyes, but so do we.
I like the good guy thing, because I could sneak on there, see what's going on, see if there's anything worth of value, and get it off the ship before they know anything's up. I could do that. If we do the pirate thing and just board them, it'll make my job a little harder, but if we could distract them, act like we're going to help them, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I say let's do the good guy thing. I think I can sneak on there. Especially with this big silent guy over here. He's big enough, he'll hide me. It'll be real easy to sneak right by him.
Bruiser just kind of smiles, and you hear a low sort of rumble, just sort of kind of like a sling blade. That's exactly kind of who I picture, only as a weak way. But he just kind of gives you that rueful sort of a smile and low rumble sort of grumble, and Doran's all right. Yeah, so he hops on the comm and he hails the other ship, and after a couple of moments, you hear back. This is the YT 2400 Pegasus. What can we do for you? Why are you hailing us? And Doran, he says, well, we saw you're floating dead, and we got a mechanic on board. Thought maybe we could send some help your way. Let's see, who was rolling for Doran? Would you make a
That would be
charm, 2 green versus 2 purple? Okay. So Doran takes a couple of strain on that one because he's a little nervous. He's done this 1,000 times, but he's nervous every time at the beginning because it could go good or bad. And when the guy on the other end, he says, "Well, we are having we're having a bit of engine troubles. Yeah, I suppose we could use some help." And you can hear somebody in the background just faintly says, "You hear, yeah, help! Yeah, we could use some help." And says, we'll get the airlock ready. You guys pull right on up and dock." And the comm goes quiet.
All right. Is it just me, Captain, or did they sound a little too eager for help? Kind of one of your old tricks.
He says, I kind of got that same feeling myself. So we best be on guard.
Let's what kind of blast are you packing there, Zara? Do you have
I've got
anything?
my trusty
weapons
old.
on you?
Oh yeah, I've just got my one light blaster pistol. It's you should recognize this. It's a DL-18 blaster pistol. Kind of common. It works. It does its job. If it needs to. I prefer not to, but if it needs to, it'll do it.
Definitely keep that handy. In the crates of weapons we took off the Imperials, what kind of anything better in there, perchance?
Doran looks at you. He says, "Oh yeah, there was all sorts of things in there. He says, there's blaster carbines, a few different heavy blaster pistols." He says, "But I got one question for you, Zara." He says, "You were in a cryo tube headed for prison." And he leans in real close and he kind of gives you this little stink eye sort of wink. He says, "Where'd you hide that blaster?"
You don't want to know. Trade secret, my friend. Trade secret.
He just kind of leans back and kind of gives a chuckle. He says, all right, that's a story for another time." So, let's get fitted, guys. You never know what they're gonna plan. So, like last time, it'll be Varanus and Bruiser going in as the mechanics to help. And, I suppose you're sneaking in, and I'll head in if trouble happens.
All right, so I'm gonna take my holdout blaster and tuck it into my coveralls, keeping it readily available, but still kind of concealed. And then my blaster carbine I picked up, I'm gonna throw that in my toolbox, and then have the big toolbox that Bruiser carried in last time. I'm gonna have him throw a couple extra blaster carbines in there as well for himself and Zara if she needs a little more firepower. Make it look like we're
I'll
coming.
take a little bit more firepower.
But have some extra oomph just in case we need it.
All right. So you toss in these extra carbines and you point at Bruiser and tell him they're for him, and he kind of looks at the carbines, and then he looks over at the gun rack where he's got this big ass just BFG DK blaster rifle, and it's just fucking massive damn thing. When he picks it up, he even grunts when he picks it up. Type of thing. Think of like the big ass gun in Doom or whatever, that BFG that shoots out that big old plasma type bolt. The thing that looks like it's about the size of half your frickin' body.
All right, Bruiser. You know I admire your style. But remember, we're going over as what was the word I'm looking for? You know, we're going over there for aid. You can't be walking on with your giant ass cannon. They're gonna think something's up.
He just kind of gives you a shrug and a grunt, just sort of. And he bends over and picks up the tool case with the carbines in it, and steps over towards the hatch.
And Zara is kind of sneaking up, or kind of, staying back a little bit behind Bruiser, so she's not quite noticed. Kind of being a little stealthy, little hidden, not noticeable.
Okay. As all this is going on, you suddenly feel the shudder through the ship as the docking clamps grab hold of each other, and the umbilical stretches across and latches on. You hear the hiss of pressurization, and Doran flips the latch for the door from up in the cockpit, and the door rolls to the side, and you can see the clear umbilical that stretches across to the other ship, to where you can see the space around you, type of thing. And step out onto the umbilical and knock on the hull to the other ship, and the other door opens up, and there's two guys standing there, and one of them looks at you and he says, "So, who was the guy I talked to on the radio?"
Has he come down yet, or is he still up in the bridge?
Doran, he's still up on the bridge.
Right. He's still up on the bridge. He brought us in, but I'll be handling everything from here on out. I'm Varanus, the ship's mechanic. One of the best you'll find out in the Blacks. So, and this here's Bruiser. He looks a lot gruffer than what he really is. He's kind of a big teddy bear, a little slow, but he carries all the parts and any extra tools I need. But said we're more than obliged to take a look and see what we can get going for you.
And he reaches out and shakes your hand, and got a real firm handshake, like he's trying to out squeeze you, type of thing, and kind of looks up at Bruiser and he says, "Teddy bear, huh?" Yeah, he says, "Well, the issue is this way. If you're as good as you say you are," he says, "happy to have you here." And he turns and walks off, and the other guy who's standing there at the hatch, he just kind of continues to stand there at the hatch, but he turns and watches you guys head off, and then he walks off towards a different hatch.
I'm going to do a perception check.
Okay. What are you looking for?
If I can hear any other voices or movement to figure out roughly how many people are on board.
Okay, and let's see. You've got the little hearing aid thing, so we're gonna say that's gonna be. So does that give you a boost?
Yeah, it gives me a boost to sound.
Okay, well it's average difficulty. Alright, so yes, you are capable of hearing that there are I'll let you do your triumph. If you don't mind, I'm going to do the advantage for this one.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a particular plan for it.
No, like I said, I was trying to get an idea of what we're up against as far
Okay.
as adversaries if this goes south. So.
All right. Well, you are indeed capable of hearing that there are other people on board. You are capable of making out at least 3 different voices and at least 4 different sets of footsteps. So it's at least 4 people, but you only are hearing at least 3 of them. And in some of what you overheard, you overhear one of the guys talking about. He says that big one. He's gonna be hard.
All right. So.
And you can tell me the triumph.
So, after the last encounter with the Imperials and Bruiser's lack of vocal abilities, we've worked out some gestures and signals that we can communicate without tipping anybody else off. And I let him know that we are to expect some resistance. And that there's 4 people that I know of that I was able to tell. So to definitely be ready to grab the blasters, essentially. So
he just kind of grunts back at you. And when he does it, though, he kind of nods his head at something like he's trying to point out like that's kind of interesting or something. So it's not an uncalled for kind of grunt, or like he's not just walking along talking and all of a sudden saying something. He's pointing something out, type of thing.
Okay.
And what is Zara wanting or trying to do at this moment?
Zara is trying to assess the situation. She doesn't pick up on their signals because they've got their own little system, so she's just trying to kind of listen and.
All right. Well, you see, like, as you see them walk off with this other guy, and they step through a bulkhead through a doorway to the left, and just as they're heading through the doorway, you don't see Varanus and his hand movements, but you see and hear Bruiser kind of grunt and nod his head off in one direction. And you also are watching the second of the people that were at the hatch. He turns and walks off through a hatch that is directly across from the umbilical.
All right.
And there is yet another hatch on the right side. So there's the airlock has 4 doors basically. One on each wall. One that leads out of the ship, and 3 that lead into other parts of the ship.
Okay. And you said he went to the guy that was at the hatch. Went to the left.
One of the guys went with Varanus and Bruiser to the left, and the second guy went straight ahead and straight across from the umbilical. So there is still a 3rd closed door on the right.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak up to the door that nobody went through and kind of peek in to see what's in there.
Okay. Make me a skullduggery, or no, a stealth, to see if you're able to get up there and get the door opened quietly. 2 difficulty because nobody's in the room. All right. So yeah, you get the door opened without any loud screeches or clangs or anything, and you get it opened up far enough that you can see inside and see that it is a cargo hold that's probably about half full of crates. What kind of advantage do you pull out of that?
She's gonna, as she's looking, she's gonna try to find some, let me see. She's gonna look for anything that would help the crew, you know, as far as like any equipment, anything of value, just kind of find something.
All right.
Is that kind of?
You find something. One of the first crates looks like it'd be something of value that you would be usable. What do you think it might be? I'll give you free creative reign here. It's whatever you. If it's something that you didn't put on your sheet that you think your character would need, it can be that. Within reason.
Right.
It's got to be plausible as to why it would be here.
Right. I would find a nice disguise kit, because I don't have one of those, and that really works well in my profession. And for some reason they have this disguise kit, and it must be part of some cargo or some shipment or something.
Well, it's not like a full-fledged disguise kit, but we'll say you find an extra set of like their uniform, like you saw when they showed up at the door. They're both wearing like dark blue on light blue uniforms, like they're
okay.
They almost look like a padded flight suit. And you find one of those laying in there.
All right. Cool. That may come in handy later. So she grabs it and tucks it away, and is gonna see if there's anything else that might be of value in there before she sneaks back out.
It would take you a good 10-15 minutes or more to just look at the outside of all the crates that are in here.
Oh, okay.
Much less to try and open them. This cargo hold, it's one massive cargo hold, and it's about half full.
Oh, okay.
Now, granted, this cargo hold would fit inside of the Wayfarer's cargo hold, but
right.
for the size of the ship, it's
pretty
damn big. Yeah, it'd take too long to search through it all. Just
okay. Well, then she's gonna sneak back out and go across to see what's in the room across from her.
Okay, so you're gonna follow through where Varanus and Bruiser went.
Oh no. Okay, no. I want to go the one where the guy went across from the hatch.
Okay.
Or from the umbilical.
All right, we'll take care of that here in just a moment. We'll hop back over to Varanus and Bruiser. This gentleman, he walks you back, and as he's walking you back, he says, "So by the way, name's Reyes. Says I'm the commander of this ship. So we're couriers. We're delivery men, and there's a colony out here that is being started up that we're supposed to be delivering a bunch of goods to, a bunch of medical meds and stuff, but had some engine trouble and we keep dropping out of hyperspace. None of us here are real mechanics, so we ain't really able to fix anything. It's really lucky that you happened upon us." "Oh no, he dropped out." Okay.
At the worst time.
Well, we'll hop back over to Zara for a moment. So you follow this, and you follow through and head through the hatchway that the other guy went in, and you see a room that is full of computer banks. like all the walls are completely lined with computer systems.
Okay.
It almost looks like somebody's tried to put in uh, a Star Destroyer's worth of computer systems into this ship. This room looks like just one massive computer. You step through and you instantly feel the heat and the air movement and all that from all the different blowers and stuff on the different computer stacks, trying to keep everything cool and running. And it's got an instant hum when you walk into the room.
Okay. Is there just one way in, one way out, or is there another?
From where you're at now, you can't like you can. It's almost like being like in a warehouse or a grocery store type of thing. Like you step through the door and you've got like an aisle in front of you, and then it turns to your left, and you can see two more like aisles that would be branched off. Like there's let's see, so there's 3 shelves that run the middle of the room, and the walls of the room are lined in computer banks as well. So like you can see down one aisle and see to the other end of the room, but there's no door where you can see.
Okay. And I only saw the one guy walk in, so I'm gonna kind of listen to see if I hear anybody else real quick. Just kind of listen and see if I can hear anything or pick up anything.
Okay.
See if there's anybody else besides him.
All right, so that's going to be a perceptions check versus a hard difficulty, so 3 purple, and I'm going to give you 2 setback due to all the noise in the room from all the computer banks humming and all the fans blowing and all that.
Okay, I do have boosted awareness for my species.
Okay.
So that gives it 1 boost. So just do 1 setback then?
Yeah, you can do that.
Because those boosts and setback would. Okay, we'll do that then.
Yep.
Ooh. 2 success.
All right. You are able to hear a voice. There's somebody talking to somebody, and the threat is that the voices are the voices getting louder as they're speaking. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but the voice is getting louder as if it's getting closer.
All right.
So that's your threat.
Okay, with hearing that the noise is getting closer, Zara's going to sneak back out and try to catch up or try to sneak up back to where Varanus and Bruiser are at. So she's got, if they come after her, she's got some protection right there. She's not very combat. I mean, she can hold her own if she needs to, but if she doesn't have to, she'll sneak out of there. So.
All right, so you're backing back out and gonna try and tuck in the door and head for where Varanus and Bruiser went.
Yeah, go back to follow them.
I'm just gonna say you're able to you're right there at the door, so you're able to just step right back out through before anybody gets there. You don't have to make a check for it.
Okay.
And you head through the door, heading that way, and you see as you're heading through it's like a galley. There's one side of the room's got a kitchen with a counter and all that, and the other side's got a couple of like bench-style restaurant tables. And you can hear a commotion ahead of you. It almost sounds like a whole bunch of feet and whatnot, a bunch of shuffling around, and that's where we're going to leave you hanging for a moment while we get back to Varanus again. You back with us now, Ray?
Yeah, you got me.
Yep. All right, so we come back to you, and you guys have been taken back to in the engine room, You walked through a galley and down a short bit of hall, kind of in a half circle sort of hallway. And you come to the engine room. And as soon as you walk through the doorway into the engine room, there are two other people here in the engine room. One's a Rhodian, and the other is a scruffy, just scraggly looking. God, I can't think of. I had it wrote down. Where'd it go? It's a Celestian, the sort of flappy-cheeked guy that was sitting next to Lando in Return of the Jedi.
Mhm.
When they attacked the second Death Star.
Okay.
Celestian, standing there, and this average-sized human who introduced himself as you guys were walking this way as Reyes, the commander. He steps aside and lets you guys into the engine room, and there's these guys, and then he steps right in behind you, and because you guys kind of saw this coming, I'm going to say you guys can go ahead and roll your cool check. So you and Bruiser roll cool, and I'll roll for these guys. So.
And Bruiser's was 1 or 2, I forgot.
Bruiser's cool is 2 green. He's going to have to upgrade that. Okay, so you got a nil and Bruiser got a success, or was it the opposite way around?
Yeah, that's right. I got a nil and he had a success.
Alright, so I got to roll this 3 times. Bam. 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 Alright, looks like they're all going to go before you guys. So, well, actually, yeah, they're all going to go before you guys. There's going to be a round that happens, and then we'll bring in Zara. So, as you guys step in, the Reyes, he steps in behind you, and he says, "All right, guys, I know you guys came over here planning on helping." He says, "And you're going to help out a whole lot more than you thought." He says, "Why don't you drop what you got? Put your hands behind your back." And the other two pull blaster pistols. So one of the other ones, as he pulls his blaster pistol, he steps up to Bruiser, like he's gonna try and put binders on him. And the other one is, he steps up to you with his blaster out. He also pulls out binders, like he's gonna try and put you in binders. And that is their turns.
Right.
So it comes down to, let's see, either you or Bruiser, either one can go first.
I will go first, and I play along, and I put my hands behind my back for them to bind me. And as he goes to grab my wrist to put the bindings on, I roll my hand out and grab his arm. Where's
Okay.
that? Brawl. 2. And that's 1, since we're engaged, correct?
Yes.
All right. And as I grab him, I activate my shock gloves.
Okay, and that was 3 plus your brawn for damage, right?
It is another triumph. All right. So can I just, with the triumph, can I just zap this guy and knock him out?
Yeah, with Triumph,
Is
you
it treated as a crit? Is that it or no?
just because it's cool, we're gonna go with it.
Alright.
Yeah, you grab this guy, this Rhodian, and you happen to grab him in a spot on their arm that's like extra sensitive or whatnot, or at least it is for him. And you unleash your zap, and he screams and is just ah! And falls over unconscious and kind of twitches a few times. And you still have maneuver.
And then I will I will open the toolbox and grab the blaster carbine.
Okay. All right. You do that, and as you're zapping this guy and grabbing the carbine, Bruiser, he reaches out and attempts to grab this guy for his maneuver. And let's see, that's going to be... oh, no, that would be... no, that wouldn't be maneuver. So, yeah, he attempts to grab a hold of this guy and restrain him as his action, not his maneuver. So that's 2 brawl, or 3 versus 1 because they're engaged, 2 because he's going to fight back. He's not just going to willingly. So he gets success and advantage. So he grabs a hold of this guy and gets him grabbed up in this big old bear hug, and with the advantage, he spins and throws him at Reyes, and Reyes and this guy go tumbling back out the bulkhead, and just as Zara comes around the corner in the galley and out into the hallway, you see this human and this little bitty short Celestian scraggly looking guy come tumbling out into the hall, or into the corridor. And that's the commotion that you heard as we were leaving off.
Okay.
And next round, go ahead and roll your cool for me real quick. No difficulty. No difficulty, just blank cool.
Oh, yeah, this is...
So that way I know where to put you in the rotation
Alright.
in this round.
Ooh.
Okay. So you'll come in, all 3 of you guys are going all at once, and all 3 of them go at once. So we're back around to them. The one guy is unconscious on the floor. Reyes, he shoves the Celestian off of him and draws his, or already having his pistol drawn, shoves this guy off of him and levels his gun and fires at Bruiser. So let's see here. Where was it? There it is. So it's 2 green. That's going to be, let's see it. Average. So. Oh, he fails. But with his 2 advantage, he hits a he misses Bruiser, but the blaster bolt hits a conduit in the ceiling of the room, and it begins to spray out coolant. So we're going to say both of you take 3 damage from this liquid nitrogen type of coolant that is being sprayed out, and So you and Bruiser each take 3 damage from this coolant as it sprays out, and the area of your exposed skin that it hits instantly freezes. Any of the clothing or anything you're wearing that it hits instantly freezes.
We bypass and soak.
Yeah, that's going to bypass soak. Let's see, and Bruiser only being, let's see, he was down to 5 in the last session. Yeah. Put him at, would have put him back at full, but that would have put him at that, so 3 more, so that's, all right, so it brings him back down to 8. All right. And the Celestian on the ground, he, after being shoved off of Reyes, he scrambles to his feet, and he scrambles over to a monitor on the wall and begins trying to shut off the coolant valve. So he's going to make, let's see, that's going to be, he's an idiot. Versus 2. And he fails. It's the computer starts beeping at him. It's going as every time he's trying to do something. Every time he hits a button, he and the conduit continues to spray coolant. And now it comes around to the 3 of you. You can go in whatever order you'd like.
Let's see. Is there anything you wanted to do?
I probably want to close distance and get up behind Brent, or who is it, the captain dude, the guy who
the human Reyes.
Yeah, Reyes. Yeah. Get up to him. I mean, he's probably quite a distance, isn't he? Or can I get up to him and run around? Within range, at least.
You can get up to. You can get up to him in this. You're close enough.
Okay. I'm going to get within, I'd say, a short range from him. Kind of scoot up with my, get my blaster pistol out and take a shot at him.
Okay.
Because I hear I could kind of see it going on, and I knew where they went. So.
All right, you guys have got 2 boost dice sitting back here waiting to be used, also along with the 1 force die. But so let's see, that's gonna be that'll be average difficulty, kind of trying to shoot around the corner type of thing, because it is a curved hall or curved corridor. So 2 difficulty. And if you want to use any of your boost dice that you guys have got built up here, you can.
Yeah, I'll use 1.
Okay.
Because I know that there's 2 guys that might be coming up behind us, so I want to get these guys out of the way.
Alrighty.
2 success.
Alright, yeah, so you hit him, and you add 1 extra point of damage to your damage. Describe to me how you hit him, and tell me how much damage you do.
Pull out my pistol. I know I can't get a good headshot because it's kind of curved, but I got a good shot of his torso. So I take a shot, pull the trigger, and 6 damage. Hit him right in the back because he's turned away from me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I hit him right in the back. Bam.
All right. So that's.
Yep.
All right. So. Yep, you hit him right in the back, left shoulder blade, because he's got his left side to you. And you hit him right in the back, left shoulder blade, and he flinches and looks back. And Now it's either Varanus or Bruiser. Who do you want to go next?
I'll have Bruiser go next.
Okay. Bruiser steps back out through into the hallway and he goes after Reyes on the ground, and he attempts to just kick the crap out of him. Or no, yeah, he's just gonna walk up and like go to stomp on him, just go curb stomp him type of deal. So that's gonna be 3 greens. So that's roll again versus 2. And 1 success. All right. So yeah, he reached and he just stomps down on this guy, and it winds up not doing any actual damage to him. Like he grunts, but he doesn't grunt from like the pain. He just grunts from the impact. And Bruiser's kind of half standing on him, sort of got him pinned to the floor now, laying on his back, standing on him. And then it's Varanus.
All right, I'm going to reach down to the toolbox and grab some wire and tie up the Rhodian that is unconscious. That way, if he decides to wake up, he's not going to be any use to them. And then if I can, after that, I want to move towards the engines so I can disable them just in case they try to pull away or something while we're and break the umbilical.
Okay. All right. Hold on just a second. I gotta roll a percentage dice real quick. Okay. So you,
So just this turn, I just need to tie up the Rhodian.
All right. So yeah, you tie up the Rhodian and then head over toward the engines, and then it falls back around to their turn, and Reyes is pinned underneath of Bruiser, but he's still got his pistol in hand. Bruiser's just stepping on his chest, so he reaches up and point blank attempts to fire at Bruiser. So that's 2 green, 1 yellow, and that's going to be 1 purple. But I am going to get a setback for being pinned. And, oh shit. Okay. So that's 7 minus. All right. Bruiser is standing over this Reyes, and he's got 1 foot on him, and he's kind of leaned. He's like leaning over, like he's getting ready to grab him. And that's when this Reyes he whips his pistol up, and just as Bruiser's leaning over, he whips his pistol up and winds up with his pistol planted on Bruiser's forehead and he pulls the trigger. And being a blaster and not a slug thrower or anything, I mean, it just leaves a fried black hole straight through Bruiser's skull, and he just collapses dead on the floor.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Even with Bruiser's soak, that ate him up. He only had 6 hit points to begin with, or 6 hit points left. So yeah, that Bruiser is down, and the Celestian abandons the computer the computer terminal he's at, and runs toward Zara's direction. He won't quite make it to Zara this round, but he runs in that direction. And as he's running that direction, he pulls out a blaster pistol off of his hip, and that is his actions and movement. So that falls around to one of you two.
All right. So I make it up to the engine. I'm gonna yank some parts and disable their ship real quick.
All right, yeah, I'm not even gonna. You don't even have to make a check for that one. You being mechanic and all that, you know parts what are needed and what are not, so you're able to just easily reach up and start ripping them off and like throwing them. You're standing there just ripping chunks and throwing them over your shoulder or whatnot behind you, just shredding shit off this engine, and it slowly starts to spit and sputter and really starts to get that shake and shimmy, and then it shuts down.
And then I turn around and I see what happened to Bruiser. And then, just kind of grief, distraught, just kind of washes over me. I was starting to build a relationship with this big guy. And I get on the comm. I tell Doran he needs Doran, you got to get out of here quick. This went south fast. Bruiser's down. We need your help. And then have him, that way we get him heading this way to back us up.
All right, and you hear over the comm, you're a little busy here myself, and then you hear, it'll take a minute.
Oh, shit, okay.
Zara, you have a Celestian headed your way, drawing a pistol.
All right, I'm gonna notice that Celestian's running my way, and instead of pointing my pistol towards Reyes, I'm gonna turn the shift and shoot at the Solstin.
All right.
And
That's, let's see, close quarters. He's not quite engaged, but almost. We're gonna go with 2 difficulty dice on that one. Actually, you know what? No, I am going to spend my dark side dice here, and I'm going to say that you're not quite ready for him to come charging your direction, and you'll get 1 purple and 1 red.
Okay.
For your difficulty.
And I'm gonna take that last boost we have.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this guy down.
So you'll get your check plus a blue die. All right. So
That'd be.
That's plus the once. That's 6.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you nail this guy. Tell me how you kill him.
I see the struggle between Bruiser and Reyes. Notice that Reyes shoots Bruiser dead, knowing at this point that stuff is just going wrong. I turn to look and notice the Solstin drawing his pistol running towards me, so I point it as best I can, pull the trigger, and with just some luck, it just hits his skull, putting the hole right through him, right through his skull like Reyes did to Bruiser. And I shout out, "Eye for an eye," as I do it.
All right. So you put a blaster bolt through this Celestian's head, and he kind of, when he collapses face first, and he's running your direction, so he's built up a little bit of the momentum, and like when he collapses, it almost looks like somebody on a slip and slide that winds up going face first. Like face hits the ground, feet come up in the air, and he slides for a few feet, and like almost right up to you type of thing, and you're just dead. laying there on the ground. Uh, what do you guys do next? You heard, well, you didn't, but Varanus heard over the comm that Doran is having some issues of his own.
What's Reyes doing at this time? Is he still?
I think you're on mute there, Ray. We've not hearing you.
No,
Still not getting anything. I can see your lips moving, but there's no voice, no sound.
Hey.
There you are.
All right. Were we fortunate enough that when Bruiser did take that shot to the head, did he at least fall on Reyes? Or is Reyes going to be able to do something this turn?
He fell on top of Reyes. Reyes has like forfeited his turn this round. He's kind of hoping you'd forget he was there.
Oh, I didn't forget. So I'm gonna take strain so I can get on top of. Will 2 movements get me within engaged on top of him?
Oh, 1 would get you back engaged.
1
with
will.
him.
Okay, I wasn't sure how far the engine was from where he was in the hall.
The engine room's a nice sized engine room, but it's not that big.
Okay. All right, then I won't have to worry about the strain then. All right, so I'm gonna run up onto Reyes and put my the blaster carbine I took off that stormtrooper in his face, and I'm going to upgrade my ranged heavy with the force die.
Okay.
So that'll be 1 purple.
1 purple. You're engaged.
You'll have to change the force die. I don't have that since I lost connection.
Okay. I can change that out.
Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Let's see. Actually, that's a crit. That's a crit.
Yep.
That. All right, yeah. So that's a crit. How do the crits work on this?
All right. Go ahead and roll a percentile. So just hit the percentile there, and then I can look it up on the critical chart here. 33. All right. That's. All right. So you know that's almost bullshit because he's prone. But yeah, I mean you hit him, and blaster carbine does 9. So, but you didn't actually. Fuck. All right, so he between his armor and Bruiser, they soak up all the damage. So he doesn't actually take any physical damage from it, but it stuns him, and he's staggered until the end of his next turn. So he can't do anything until the end of his for a whole nother round still. So you both you'll get another turn, and Zara gets 2 turns before he can do anything.
All right, I'm gonna yell to Zara to go check on Doran. It sounded like they. I think it sounds like someone boarded our ship. I've got this taken care of. Go see how bad he is looking.
And Zara gives him a thumbs up, and runs back towards the ship as fast as she can.
Okay. All right. You'll get there in 2 rounds. Okay. So that's see. Well, Reyes can't do anything. He's staggered this turn, so that's back to Varanus.
All right, I'm gonna
Shot number 2.
Shot number 2.
Gonna use the other force die again?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty upset about what happened to Bruiser. So.
Alright, so you can upgrade again.
There we go. So 10 damage.
So 10 damage, and that's he soaks up that. So that's you adjust your barrel as you thought it was on him the first time you shot, but it was like on like part of Bruiser's arm. That's why it got all soaked up the last time. But this time you readjust and you get your blaster put down there. And where do you shoot him? Now, you can put the blaster right there on top of him. Where do you shoot him?
Oh, it's right in his face.
Okay.
Like I'm like jamming it in his mouth, kind of like gangster.
Yeah, he's toast.
Style.
He's toast. You pull the trigger, and even though it's a blaster, this is a blaster rifle. So I mean, his head pops whenever you fire at point blank range. It's like the blaster bolt, it fires through and leaves the black little dot, but it's only there for just a second as the sort of concussion that comes out of the tip of the barrel like causes his head to explode. So he's laying underneath Bruiser, just headless. There's just this brain matter gray and all this splatter all over the place.
All right.
And then we'll come back around to Zara, as you are making it to the airlock and getting ready to enter the umbilical. You can see a dead Twi'lek on the floor of the Wayfarer across the umbilical, and you can also see another human. He's got his back to you, and he keeps peeking out and firing into the Wayfarer.
All right. Well, if he doesn't see me, I'm gonna shoot him.
All right. Yeah. You come up behind him. He's paying more attention to the shots that are coming at him from Doran.
Now, how close am I?
You're probably about 15, 20 feet away from him.
Okay.
So I mean, you could easily make it up to him in a movement.
Okay. I'm gonna get right up to him, put my blaster pistol against his head, and take him out.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check, and if you can pass this stealth check, I'll give it to you. It's going to be he's paying attention to what's going on in there, but it's going to be 2 purple and 1 red.
2 purple and 1 red. Okay. And I got Stalker rank 1, so I get to add a boost to stealth check.
Okay.
And here we go.
Oh, yeah. You another blaster bolt through the back of the head, and this guy just drops. But it's kind of lucky that this all worked, because when you fire, your pistol clicks at you to let you know that its power cell is dead. But you've got to triumph. Tell me what your triumph gets you.
After she pulls the trigger and sees the guy just goes down. And noticing that her power cell on her weapon is gone now, she's gonna take the dead human's pistol as her trophy.
Okay.
It's like, well, here you go. You used up my weapon, now I'm gonna take yours.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Um,
take his weapon.
you can do that anyway. I mean, is that what you want to use as
Okay.
your triumph?
Oh,
Or, I mean, you can pick anybody's weapon up just about any time.
Oh, I guess now we could, yeah.
I mean,
What else can? It's just to change the story, right?
yeah, you could
Basically.
do anything to change the story. You could pass it along for an upgrade instead of a boost. You could pass it along for the next person to upgrade their dice. So basically, kind of like having an extra light-sided dice.
Okay,
Or,
we'll do that. That sounds good. That.
Okay, so you'll pass that along for an upgrade.
Yep.
All right. Well, as you drop this guy, you hear Doran. Who the hell just shot him? I owe you a drink. Who the hell shot him?
Zara will kind of peek around the corner to look at Doran and just go.
He just kind of smiles at you. Says, "Girl, we get somewhere with an alcohol. I'm buying you a drink. On top of that, as far as I'm concerned, you've earned your stay here on board."
And Zara just smiles and gives him a little wink.
He says, "Those guys came out of nowhere, had me hard pressed like no tomorrow." He says, "How'd things go over there?" "Hoping better than here."
And Zara at that point just kind of looks down and goes, "You might want to go check on Varus." And she kind of points back towards the other ship.
He kind of gets that panicked look. He says, "Why? What happened to Varanus?"
Varanus is okay, but you may want to check up on Bruiser too. They're both together back in the engine room.
And he begins heading that way, and he catches Varanus about halfway there. Anything you say to him as he's coming? You're on mute, sir. Or we've lost volume again.
Yep, sorry. I was
There you are.
That's on. Doran, don't go further. You don't want to see it.
And he's kind of leaning and trying to look past you. He says, "Why? What don't I want to see? Where's Bruiser?"
He's not coming back from this one.
And he just kind of looks at you and he says, "You mean he's dead?"
Yeah, he took a pretty bad shot. There's nothing we can do. It was vital. Basically point blank to the face.
I always told that if you had a hard head, but a blaster bolt wasn't gonna matter a bit. Damn it.
I did him justice, though. Returned the favor to the Bantha Poodoo that made the killing shot. There's one more in there if you want him. He's all yours. I was going to try and show some sympathy. I'm still not quite up to the pirate level that you may be used to running at. He's unconscious, but at this point, we could vent him to space for all I care.
So, let's go collect Bruiser. And I'll figure out what to do with the other guy here in a moment.
Before we do that, I want to check out the rest of the ship, make sure there's no one else kind of hiding around.
Okay. Yeah, you look through the rest of the ship, and there's nobody else. There was the 4 crew and the captain. You find the cargo hold that's about half full. Uh, Again, this cargo hold is a nice sized cargo hold, but it could easily fit inside the Wayfarer's cargo. Uh, it's about half full. You find pretty good armament here in the armory. This you get the idea from this that these guys were mercenaries, that or slavers, one of the two, because they've got a holding cell type of pin in their cargo area, or in their secondary cargo area.
Nobody in there?
No, there's nobody in it.
All right. So yeah, we'll collect Bruiser, bring him back to the ship.
Okay.
And then we'll start going through the cargo, see what we can see if they have anything worth. What did they call it? Acquiring.
Acquisitions.
Anything we can move that we know is not going to belong to.
Well, you looking through it, you figure out that the Reyes guy, he wasn't completely lying to you. I mean, they're obviously not couriers that were delivering medical supplies, but they do have a cargo hold full of medical supplies. There's probably a good 40 crates in here, and they are all full of medical supplies. Stim packs, antibiotics, all sorts of stuff, bandages, just about anything you could think of. There's some equipment in some of the crates, all sorts of stuff. There's a crate that's got it's full of like cybernetic arms. There's another one that's legs, all sorts of stuff. There's probably, if you had to make a quick estimated guess, there's probably 200,000 worth of credits sitting here in this cargo hold.
Ooh.
If you were able to find somebody to pay the right price for it.
Well, fortunately, we work for somebody who is pretty big in cybernetics, so he might be interested in those, if they're the good ones anyway.
Well, Basato deals in all sorts of stuff, good and bad. But yeah, you guys get stuff transferred over to your ship. It takes a few hours to get all the stuff transferred over, all the weapons from the armory, all the crates from the cargo hold, and if you strip the ship of anything you may think you may need in the future for repairs and such. Matter of fact, there are enough parts in the engine room that you would be able to repair your engine A and B back to full operating order if you just had time to put it in dock and do it.
I'm going to go ahead and do like I did before. Get it whatever parts I can find that'll be compatible.
Okay. And as you're stripping stuff, Doran grabs this Rhodian who's on the floor after you guys have searched everything, who's still unconscious, and he sets him up in a chair and pulls him out into the airlock area, and just leaves him sitting in the chair in the airlock, and comes back to get you. He says, "All right, it's time we go." He says, "If you want to blow the ship like you did the Imperial shuttle, that's fine." He says, "But it needs to be on a delay."
Now there's I took some extra parts from this engine. I won't be able to get it running to overload it like I did on that shuttle. So this thing will just be floating dead in space.
All right. Well,
I ain't worried about covering tracks this time.
on our way out, do me a favor. He says he hands you a couple of pieces of like that strap steel, and he says bolt that chair down to the floor in the airlock for me.
Will do, Captain.
So he heads back over to the ship, and just a few moments later, you head back into the ship, and the Rhodian is still tied to the chair that is now strapped, steeled, screwed, and bolted to the floor. And he, as you're walking back onto the ship, you notice that there's a pistol, one of the blaster pistols, is wedged into the hatch seal, so that the hatch won't shut all the way. And when he retracts the umbilical and all that, their hatch goes to shut, but it won't shut all the way because this blaster's in there. And he just flies off. And he's, well, decompression ought to wake him up just before it kills him. And
It's still too good for him for what happened to Bruiser.
Says, yeah, but I don't have the time to wait around for him to wake up, and I don't want his trash on my ship any more than it already was. We gotta give Bruiser a true spacer funeral. So we gotta get going. And you guys put in your astrogation, and this time everything's hunky-dory and on the up and up. Everything's working right. And you guys jump into hyperspace, and all the stars go from dots to streaked lines. And that's where we're going to end the session for the night. Thanks for watching, everybody. And see you next week. Stick around for a minute, guys.